Okay, we are going to go over a couple of examples for this assignment. This is an introduction assignment, so it should be a lot of review for you, and at the very least it will be a basic application of what you just learned in your intro notes. So for this first part, you are reading positions, and it's as simple as that. So it says, what is the position of the smiley face? So keep in mind that position here, this just means what is its location. Something that we did not go over in the notes is that position does want you to identify the direction that something is located from the origin. The origin is here at 0, and a positive or a negative signifies direction. So in this case, positive is to the right, and negative is to the left. So that positives and negatives do tell us direction. That's really important in physics. So the position of the smiley face is +1. These are meters, and it says you're using a meter stick, so make sure you use your units. So it is 1 meter. The position of the lightning, it's to the left of the origin, so we're going to use a negative sign, and it's at -4 meters. So be sure to use your units, because if you say -4, it could be -4 centimeters, -4 feet. We want to make sure we know exactly where it is, and it is -4 meters on that timeline. So you're going to do a couple more like that. Let's scroll down here on this document, and let's do this example for displacement. So displacement is a vector. It is telling us how far away something is from the origin and in what direction. So vector, remember that is magnitude and direction. So the initial spot of this car is at 6. We would consider that the origin. The origin can also be considered the initial position. So here you have xi. X tells us position. I tells us it's the starting position or the initial position. So it's at 6. And then the final position is at 2, so it travels to the left a total of 4 meters. You can count that on the timeline, or you can use math to subtract as they have here. So you would take your x final minus x initial. Its final position is at +2 meters minus the initial position of +6 meters, and that gives us -4 meters. This makes sense because the negative tells us that it moved in the left direction, and 4 meters is how far away it is from the starting point. This right here is a great reflection of a vector measurement because the negative tells us direction just like positive would tell us direction, and it's also telling us the magnitude of 4 meters. Further down on this assignment, here's a couple of blanks that you can use kind of like I did up here. Here's an example where you're looking at distance versus displacement. So keep in mind distance is how far you traveled. Displacement is your distance from the starting point, and make sure you know what direction you are. Showing displacement here, they want you to analyze how far the smiley face moves and in what direction. And on these, you'll be drawing the position of those objects. So pay close attention to the positions. And then here, you've got Krabby, and Krabby's going to move around on this timeline, and I'll do A and B with you. So first, Krabby, he's starting here at -6 meters, and he walks 7 meters in the positive direction. So it's going to be to the right, and they want you to put the letter D there. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is where he moves for his first position. And then he walks back in the negative position 3 meters. So 1, 2, 3, and they want you to put the letter I there. And so on. So keep track of how he travels. So he went to the letter D, and then back to the letter I. Go ahead and finish out C and D and then answer the riddle. It's a nice little joke for you. And then lastly, there's a couple of other analysis questions here. And then this one is kind of a challenge question, but By now, hopefully you understand distance and displacement well enough to answer those. And a key will be provided to you so you can check your work. You do want to turn this in, but we do want you to feel confident about the work that you're turning in, and this is just a great practice assignment.